makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part.
The 2022 Grammys have started with some controversy over the fact that Marilyn Manson and Louis C.K. were nominated for awards. And this has been rightfully, in my opinion, seen as incredibly tone deaf, given the fact that these are two people who are under some significant accusations of sexual assault. So I want to show you some of the comments made by the CEO of the Grammys. And he said, "We won't restrict the people who can submit their material for consideration. We won't look back at people's history. We won't look at their criminal record. We won't look at anything other than the legality within our rules of, is this recording for the work eligible based on date and other criteria? If it is, they can submit for consideration." Um, yeah, I'll tell you why this is a really silly excuse. So, if first I'm gonna say, I've always hated the Grammys. Of all the major award shows, I've always thought the Grammys were just complete shit from the start. And even when I paid slightly more attention to other award shows, I don't know, the Oscars, which I might have slightly cared for many years ago until they denied Mad Max Fury Road the Best Picture Oscar. Um, Back in the good old days, the MTV, VMAs. But the Grammys I've always hated because the type of music that wins Grammys is usually music that I don't like. So yeah, I've never cared for the Grammys. But if this was an award show where the awards were based on some objective criteria, I don't know, a combination of album sales, song downloads, you know, meta reviews, review scores, something like that, you could make a case. Well, if Marilyn Manson has the third most downloaded song of the year, then yeah, perhaps it should be considered, at least considered. But that's not how the Grammys work. The Grammys, like almost every other award show, is entirely subjective. It's based on the choices made by a few select people. Um, then create a short list of nominations, and then one of them wins. But this is all subjective, and if it's so subjective, then you can easily subjectively deny a nomination to someone who you find is just repulsive and shouldn't be given an award or anything. Now, the argument that this guy gives is a bit silly. So he says we won't look back at people's history. We won't look at their criminal record. So let's hypothesize for a bit. You all know who Gary Glitter is. He's the guy who wrote the song Rock and Roll Part 2, which is played in, or was played, I don't know if it still is, in every stadium in the world. It's the song that the Joker dances in the Joker movie when he's going down the stairs. We've all heard that song. If you don't know who Gary Glitter is, he is in jail for pedophilia. Now, what if you had an artist with a criminal record that is just incredibly repulsive, like Gary Glitter, and in prison he decides to make a song and release it, sell it, and it's a fantastic song. Let's just imagine that it's just a really amazing song, and it sells tons of uh, of copies. But this guy did a crime that most people would find just absolutely horrible. Even more horrible than the sexual assault accusations that Louis C.K. and Marilyn Manson have. Would they still nominate him for a Grammy? If Charles Manson decides to record an absolutely amazing piece of spoken word poetry, sells it, does really well, becomes popular, would would that be a reason to give him a Grammy? If Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, wrote an amazing novel, would it be given, I don't know, uh, a Nobel Prize in literature? I don't know. I think it wouldn't. So this idea that like your background has nothing to do with it, I think is bullshit. I think the issue is what they're saying there is that yeah, your background probably does matter, but sexual assault is still not the bar by which we would judge you. And that really says a lot about the mentality of the people making these decisions. And with respects to so here's some other tidbits. Other nominees include Dave Chappelle, whose history of transphobia has come under scrutiny in the wake of his Netflix stand-up special The Closer. He was nominated in the Best Spoken Word category for 846 alongside poet Amir Sulaiman. In addition, DaBaby, I always laugh at that name. Rappers are really running out of of cool names. Who faced backlash after making homophobic remarks during a July performance, is nominated twice in the Album of the Year category. So with these two, I'm all for never nominating these two. Because what they did was absolutely vile, if proven to be true. So yeah, just no. Dave Chappelle and DaBaby, I think, are slightly different. I don't believe they should be canceled. I think they should be called out for what they have said. I think, yes, you should say that DaBaby is a homophobe if he said what he said. Yes, you should say that Dave Chappelle is a transphobe, and yes, you have to say that The Closer is essentially a 1 hour piece of transphobic comedy, if you can call it comedy at all. As to denying them the possibility of getting an award for a separate piece of art, I'm personally slightly uncomfortable with it, but I would not say that that is in the same league as nominating Louis C.K. or Marilyn Manson. And I should add, I've made numerous videos about Dave Chappelle in recent months, so it's obvious that I have no sympathies for him or his show. But I said it back then. I said no. I don't think he should be canceled. Having said that, what this proves, without a shadow of a doubt, is that cancel culture is bullshit. Because if these people were really canceled, they would still not be legible for winning the most prestigious music award from the US music industry. That's just a fact. So whenever you hear, oh, this person got canceled, this and that, think about it. Just really, really, really think about it. They haven't been canceled. And yeah. So, on that note, if you like this video, please like, please share. Most importantly, please subscribe. And fuck the Grammys, because they suck anyway. See ya.